It's on. It's on.
Radhe Radhe, Dandava Pranam. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Sri Vrindavan Dham. On this auspicious day of Sri Guru Purnima, the disappearance anniversary of Sri Sanatan Goswami, and beginning of Sri Chaturmas. Today is also Guru Purnima is Vyasa Puja. So it's an extremely auspicious and powerful day for us. Sorry. I'm waiting for Sudevi to put on fresh tilak. There we go. It's beautiful. Okay. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. Pati Pavan Shri Nityanand Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari ki jai, Shri Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Ramana Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Guru Purnima Vyasa Puja ki jai, Shri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai, Vidyatira Maha Maho. Here, let's see if we can do this. 4, 3. Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai.
Sorry about that. I forgot to connect to the Wi-Fi. That was my fault. Of course.
Okay. Can you just let us know where we were?
With Jai.
Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Guru Varga ki jai. Pati Pavan Shri Nityanand Prabhu ki jai. Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari jai. Radha Vino Bihari ki jai. Radha Ramana Ju ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Shri Vyasa ki jai. Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai. Vidyatira Mahotsav ki jai. Shri Chaturmasya Vrat ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande. So we will begin Bhagavatamrita, page 1 of this book, Glory Teacher. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamam. विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तो स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमः विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति प्रज्ञानो केशवयति नामिने अतीवक्यचरित्राय स्वश्रितालंशपालिने जीवदूते सदरताय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती नामिने श्रीवर्षभारती देवी नयिताय कृपाभये कृष्ण सम्बन्ध विज्ञान नयिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमध्य श्रीरूपारुण भक्तिदा श्रीगौर करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये निधिनतादिने रूपानुगं निरुद्धाप सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षान्मैराज्यमूर्तये विप्रारम्भरसम्बोधे परं गुरुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगमनायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय सुरतो पंगो मम मन्दं दीर्घति मत्सर्वस्वत्वं रामगणमोहन दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमः श्रीमद्रत्नाकरसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठाय संज्ञानुस्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भी शिवततस्तः कर्षन्ते स्वरगोपी गोपीनाथश्रेष्ठः वृन्दाय तुलसीदेवे प्रियाय केशवस्य कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृन्द जय Cheto Narpanamanjanam Bhavamaha Damagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaram Vidyamadhujivanam Anandam Vivardhanam Pratipalam Purnamritara Shravanam Saratma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Hare Ram Hare Ram Eva Kevalam Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyata Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
So Jiva Bhagavatamrita says it seems to have fixed itself simply by the desire of the Vaishnavas. So please inform us if it is still okay. Otherwise we'll have to change the internet connection. I'm really happy if it did work out. In the meantime, we'll begin with Gurudev Vaikuntha, page 32, I think.
Sudevi?
You want to do it? That's not making any sense.
The same as what I'm recording. What page? 32. Gurudev Vaikuntha. Gurudev Kripavindudiya Guruye Ase Nabe
It's another up before we continue.
Should we turn it off the Wi-Fi? Excuse me.
No, I'll bring it to you. I just don't know what to do. Excuse us, we're going to try to change the Wi-Fi.
Sorry. Hare Krishna, can you see okay? Oh, the light's on. Is it okay now or not?
Is that better? It doesn't look better here. Just wait for them to
I left this light on. I don't know how to turn that off. Is it better again? I think some heavy weather must be coming soon. I turned on the Wi-Fi. The light's still on. I don't know how to turn it off.
No, it's not better. We'll see.
Just wait a minute.
No, just let it have a second.
It's the flashlight. This bright light is on my face. Does anyone know how to turn?
It doesn't.
It's in my eyes.
They're saying it's not better.
I don't know what to do unless I try to hook it up to my Wi-Fi. Let's see.
Give us a moment down completely and restart.
I don't think it needs to restart.
So you can turn off the
Turn it off. Hare Krishna. We're trying our best here. Forgive us.
Okay, we're live.
We are live.
We are in India, in Vrindavan.
Okay.
I wrote that. Oh, I see it now. Okay, we hope this is better because this is the last hope.
I think that the internet wanted Sudevi to do this and not me. So we're going to sing Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya.
It's better.
What does it say there?
Oh, yeah.
Hare Krishna. There must be a good storm coming soon. Is it going better with Bhagavatamrita?
It's just...
With the regular internet, is it better?
Not working again.
Look at interesting activities. Hare Krishna.
Can you just like get completely off it and go on with this? Yeah, no, I won't use it. Okay. Because I have it here and it's enough.
That you can connect to Kishori.
Okay, please let us know if this is better. Just give it a minute to...
Hare Krishna.
Silly comments are welcome.
Hare.
Okay, page 32, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya.
Next, we will call up to Sri Guru Parampara. On this day of Guru Purnima, Srila Gurudev required and requested that we should call out to all of our Guru Varga, because on the day of Guru Purnima, Guru does not accept worship just unto himself, but actually whatever the disciple offers to Guru, Guru offers it up to his Gurudev, who offers it to his Gurudev, all the way up the Parampara to Krishna. So, now we will sing Krishna Hoite Chaturmukha Hoi Krishna Sevamukha. Page 23. Together, Sri Shat Goswami Ashtakam, glorification of Sri Sanatan Goswamipada, starting with Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro, Premamritam Bodhite. Bande Rupa Sanatano, Rupa Jugalo Sri Jiva Gopal, page 264. starts with Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Pro. KRSNOTKIRTANA Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Pro. And sing it all together. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Pro. Premamritam Hari Haraye Namaha Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, page 148. The name of the bhajan is Sri Nama Kirtan, but it starts with Hari Haraye, H-A-R-I, H-A-R-A-Y-E.
And thank you so much, Jiva Pavana Prabhu, for posting all of the kirtans, bhajans, and nectar as you always do. We're so indebted for that beautiful seva that you offer to all the devotees.
Yes, thank you so much. This bhajan is actually a beautiful supplication. Praying from the point where it comes to Sri Rup Sanatan Bhattarona, from that point all the way to the end. It's just praying and calling out for the mercy of the 6 Goswamis and the Vaishnavas. Hari Haraye Namaha Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Yadavaya There's a bhajan in this songbook about everything that is favorable in bhakti. It's the bhajan, no, the other one. Bhakti Anupul. Sharanagati bhajan. I'm just looking for it. 1 second. I'm in the Prashadam.
How does it start?
Maybe to Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur went through all of the different ashtakams. He made it bhajan, full bhajan for each verse of Shikshashtakam, for each verse of Upadeshamrita, for each verse of Manashiksha, for each statement within the 6 symptoms of Sharanagati. There's Upadeshamritam. Tua Bhakti Anupul.
214.
214. Because today is also for us the first day of Chaturmasya Vrat, which is very favorable for bhakti.
Because?
We will talk about that later.
It sounded like you said because and that you were gonna.
No. Jugala Kishore with Hare Krishna.
Page
158.
123.
Keep looking. Radha Krishna Prano Jugala Kishora Jivane Marane Dati Karuna
Hare
वेद व्यास की जय, कवि आविर्भाव महामहोत्सव की जय, श्री चतुर्मास्य व्रत की जय, राधा बिहारी जी की जय, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, गौरव भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौरवानंदे हरि हरि। गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तत्काले कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय अधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्री श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदान्त नारायणेति नामे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं, यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। First of all, I have my Danda Pranam thousands of times. The dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishwad Astottara Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja. And the same thousands of Danda Pranam. The dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Vishwad Astottara Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhu. And to our Rupananga Gauriya Guru Varga, especially today to Sri Sanatan Goswamipada on the occasion of the anniversary of his disappearance, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including all of those who are with us today. Danda Pranam.
It's very stuttery. Very stuttery, and it's very hard for everyone to listen, they said.
Everyone?
Even Vichitri in Vrindavan.
Vichitri in Vrindavan.
Devaki, Didi, Mamata, everyone.
For the duration of the bhajans? It might be a while before. I don't know. This is still, let me just see if this is sharing its connection. It is. But they said it was even worse when it was sharing from here. How is the connection from your phone? I can put it on regular Wi-Fi, but we've been having, some difficulty with Airtel. Are you using Geo? Idea?
I just have my stuff off right now. It's not working.
It's not working. So somehow it appears that in Vrindavan at the moment having a little bit of difficulty with wireless servers for mobile phones, Airtel and Geo and Idea. Something is affecting the signal, and we have the higher speed internet, which we have named Radharaman, but it is also giving us some difficulty. Hopefully in the playback it won't be as stuttered. Please forgive us for our shortcomings. So today, as I've already mentioned, we are observing here in Vrindavan Shri Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima means the full moon, which is dedicated to Gurudev. This is the anniversary of the appearance of Srila Vyasadev in this world. That is Guru Purnima. And traditionally, in Vedic culture, all sectors of society, no matter which group they're from, worship their Gurudev on this day. So this is the original Vyasa Puja. Whenever we worship our Gurudev on their birthday, we call it Vyasa Puja. So that is because they are representatives of Veda Vyas. So we worship them and call it Vyasa Puja. But this day is actually the birthday celebration of Srila Vyasadeva. So it is glorified, and all Gurus are worshipped on this day, Sri Guru Purnima, here in India. Today is also, for us, the first day of Chaturmasya Vrat. 4 months where we take a vow to give up so many things and dive more deeply into the path or the process of bhakti. And for some, they began on Ekadashi, and we're beginning on Purnima, which is the full moon. According to Hari Bhaktivedanta, it is always on one day or the other. There is no discrepancy there. And today is also the disappearance anniversary of Srila Sanatan Goswamipada. Sanatan Goswamipada, we know, is the older brother of Srila Rupa Goswami. But Rupa Goswami always saw him as his Shiksha Guru. So Sanatan Goswamipada, he is very, very special and dear to us in our line of Rupanuga Vaishnavism, that we take and have received so many beautiful teachings. In fact, we've been studying this book here, Going Beyond Vaikuntha, which is based on the books, or the Brihad Bhagavatamrita of Sri Sanatan Goswamipada, which is the foundation. It's said to be the foundation of all of the books of the Goswamis. And Sanatan Goswamipada also had very in-depth discussions with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who blessed him to basically manifest all of the sadacharas, all of the activities which are favorable for bhakti, and also to let us know what are the pitfalls. So many beautiful teachings have come to Sanatan Goswamipada from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the benefit of the world. And so today we're able to benefit due to the mercy of Sri Sanatan Goswamipada. By his deep humility, he pulled that nectar from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and distributed that to the world. So it's a very auspicious and powerful, beneficial day for us to remember and to glorify and to speak about these 3 very important occasions. So first, I'll speak a little bit about Vyasa Puja. Sudevi is also going to speak a little something today. So I just wanted to share a little bit about Vyasadeva. Vyas, that name itself, means diameter. So that personality, whose function is to basically flow from one side of something to the other, basically touching all points. If you have a circle and you cut it, you can cut a million ways with its diameter. It means you can cut across that. So from Vyasadeva, it means all points are basically resting upon him. So all gurus and all guru paramparas who are bona fide, they are following Shastra. Without Shastra, we don't have anything. We have mental concoction. So Shastra is our foundation, and Shastra was actually manifested directly from the Lord, but through the medium of Sri Veda Vyas. At this time, our Veda Vyas is known as Krishna Vaipayana Veda Vyas, a direct manifestation of Krishna himself. And he has written down or arranged for everything to be written down. So, regarding this idea of him connected to everything, anyone who has any knowledge, Vedic knowledge, must give their gratitude and their thanks to Vyasadeva, because without him, we would not have anything. So by that, we understand that he has touched every single point of this absolute circle. That he has touched everyone, directly and indirectly, because he has manifested this transcendental knowledge. Notice I said the word manifested, not created. It is eternal, but he has manifested it for this world. Originally there was one Veda. In order for people to understand, Vyasadeva divided into 4: Rik, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva Vedas.
It's very bad for ladies. I'm just letting you know, maybe we should try back to Radharaman.
It's not Radharaman, but we can try back to the other one. Okay, please forgive me for 1 moment. I will go and try to switch it to the wireless, what do you call it? SIM card. 1 second.
It's frustrating for everyone.
Oh. Okay, is that any better? Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna. Please let us know. Very bad there. Hare Krishna. It says it's going. All right. He also manifested the Puranas. Is this better? Hare Krishna. So Vyasa also manifested Puranas, Upanishads, and so many different scriptures. He manifested the Mahabharata. Within Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita. So he manifested all of these scriptures. By his grace, all of our gurus and Guru Parampara are able to disseminate this truth. So they are receiving that mercy directly or indirectly through the medium of Veda and Vyas. Another meaning of this, touching all points, is this verse that we are accustomed to chanting before class. Yam pravrajatamanum vetyam dvaitayano vihakatarya juhava putretitam yataya tarabo vinedus tam sarvabhutam hridayam munimanatosmi. That I see that my spiritual master is situated within the heart of every living entity. Tam sarvabhutam bhuta hridayam munim anatosmi. So our Gurudev also spoke about this in relation to Vyasadeva, that he is present everywhere. It means Guru is present everywhere. And Vyasadeva is considered like the original Guru. Of course, we know that Krishna is the original, but he has manifested in the form of Vyas to disseminate all of these transcendental literatures. We have heard the history of how Vyasadeva had already revealed the Vedas. He had separated them, revealed the Puranas, which Gurudev said are also eternal. They are transcendental and eternal. And he has revealed Mahabharata, Bhagavatamrita, and so many other scriptures. But still, after that, he was feeling dissatisfied in his heart. Feeling dissatisfied, his own Gurudev, Sri Narad Muni, came to that place. And Vyasadeva was looking at confused. Narad Muni asked him, "What's trouble in your heart?" And Vyasadeva said to him, "You're my Gurudev, please. You can detect what's going on in my heart, please help me." And Narad Muni told him that you're feeling trouble in your heart because you have given to the world everything to do with dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Dharma means religiosity of this world. So how to treat someone when they come to your home, what kind of honor and respect to give to your parents, how to take care of the cows, what kind of pujas and worship to do for marriages and having children and all of these things. You have given so much information about dharma. Artha, economic development, is how to increase in your material happiness, your material pleasure, how to build your income and have a comfortable material situation. Then kama. Kama means sense enjoyment. You've given so much information through all of your scriptures, how to be happy or how to enjoy in this world. And you've also given so much information about moksha. Moksha means to finally come to the end of all of that and to become free from suffering and to attain liberation. But you have not taught anyone, you have not told the world how they can be truly happy forever. Yayatma suprasidati. You have not done this. Given the souls of this world the opportunity to discover how they will find the topmost complete perfection or happiness. So Ved Vyas was looking at Narad Muni. How can I do this? And Narad Muni told him that you should go into a deep trance and remember the sweet pastimes of Krishna with his devotees. You should tell about Braja Lila, the relationship between Krishna and his friends in Vrindavan, Krishna and his parents, and especially Krishna and his gopis. By this, you will feel satisfied and everyone will feel happy and satisfied. If you don't do this, then everything is incomplete. I remember how Srila Gurudev would say this whenever there was any festival. If he would be speaking on Prahlad Charitra, Dhruva Maharaja's Charitra, his qualities and the instructions from that section of Srimad Bhagavatam, or so many different sections of Bhagavatam, the 24 Gurus. But in the end, Gurudev would always come to Braja Lila. And Gurudev said, if I don't speak about the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, then everything else is like useless. So he always wanted to bring us to that point. That is the goal of all of it. All of the histories, all of the scriptures in Srimad Bhagavatam, all of those are really to bring us to that point of understanding that the highest goal is prema umarto mahan, to develop transcendental love and affection for Krishna, Krishna prema, especially in the wake of the Brajavasis, following in their mood, Tishtan Braje Tad Anuragi Jananugami, to reside in Vrindavan under the guidance of any Ragatmika Bhakta, and from their association develop an inclination, a spontaneous mood of love and affection for Krishna, like the Brajavasis have for him. So this is the goal of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sri Narada Muni told Vyasadeva that you should go into samadhi trance. It means go internal. And at that time, samadhi, dhi means consciousness, and sama means equal. To basically come to a point of equal consciousness with the absolute truth, with Shabda Brahma. Allow that to flow through you. In that state of samadhi, you should witness all of the sweet pastimes of Krishna, and you should reveal those to the world. Then you will be happy, and then the world will be happy. So Vyasadeva followed the instructions of his guru, Sri Narada Muni. He entered into samadhi trance, witnessed all of these beautiful pastimes of Krishna. And what he witnessed, he spoke, Ganesh wrote it down. What he was witnessing was later on known as Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. Nigama kalpataror galitham phalam shukamakad amrita drava samyutam. It has become even sweeter, Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam, by being tasted by the shuka. Shuka means parrot. It is said that if a parrot tastes a fruit, then already he has smelled its sweetness, and then he is tasting it because of its sweetness. Then you know this is a sweet fruit. And even by the touch of the parrot's beak, that fruit becomes even more sweet. So Shukadev, the son of, actually, you can say the disciple of Vyasadeva, because when Vyasadeva said to him, oh my son, Shuka did not hear it at all. He was completely situated in Brahmagyan at that time. He walked away, and only the trees echoed in response. This is from that verse, which our Gurudev spoke every single time before giving pravachan, before giving Harikatha. Only when Shukadev heard sweet Harikatha, the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan being spoken by Ved Vyas, and his heart became attracted. He gave up this only being saturated or situated in this Brahman platform, and manifested this mood of being bhakta, devotee of Krishna, especially attracted to the pastimes of Krishna. So Vyasa revealed not only Srimad Bhagavatam, but all transcendental literature. But Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be the ripened fruit of all transcendental literatures. It is the Amala Purana. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yat Vaishnavanam Priyam. This is stated near the end of Srimad Bhagavatam. That Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless Amal. Amal means completely free from any impurity. It means there is no cheating whatsoever in it, which is also stated in the second verse. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. There it is said that Bhagavatam completely rejects all kinds of religious principles that are materially motivated and establishes Bhagavat Dharma, means loving service to Krishna as the highest truth, distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. And those who are nirmatsa, those who are free from envy, those who are free from the tendency to criticize others, those who are nirmatsa, they will relish Srimad Bhagavatam. And those who are rasik and bhabuk, those whose natures are full of ras and who are full of all kinds of transcendental moods and sentiment, so many transcendental emotions, they will relish this Srimad Bhagavatam. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Srimad Bhagavatam pramanam amalam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless evidence. If we need evidence from anywhere, we take it from Vedas, what he gave in his maturity. This is interesting because we've seen that Vedas gave so many scriptures, but we don't follow every aspect of all of the scriptures. Only those things which support his final conclusion, that thing which his Gurudev told him will bring the maximum benefit to all of humanity and to himself. And that is the sweet pastimes of Krishna with his loving devotees. So this day, Vyasa Puja, Vyasa Purnima, this is extremely essential for us to honor and to follow. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Navadvip, which was his earlier years, at that time, Srivas Pandit was going to perform Vyasa Puja. And that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came late. He came late. And he was supposed to do the Vyasa Puja. So then Srivas was looking, who can I give to do Vyasa Puja? He asked Nityananda Prabhu, you should do it. Nityananda Prabhu was really stalling, taking his time, not starting the puja. How do you start the puja? You have to put the garland on Vyasadeva, on the picture of Vyasadeva, or the murti of Vyasadeva. So Nityananda Prabhu was stalling and everyone was like, come on, begin, start. Mahaprabhu was late. Then when Mahaprabhu arrived, then Mahaprabhu said, why are you taking so long? You haven't started. And Nityananda Prabhu said, 1 second. And then he took that garland and put it on the neck of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What are you doing? He said, you are the source of all Vyasas. You are the origin of everything. You are the real Vyas. And so Nityananda Prabhu, who is the unbroken Guru Tattva, he can never make any mistake. He has complete understanding of all truth. He placed that garland on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on this Vyasa Purnima, Guru Purnima day. So we are all indebted to Vedi Vyas, who is really the source or the origin of all of our Shastra. He has manifested it all, and all of our gurus are deriving from that. Our Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he said that if any Vaishnavas ever asked any question, they should never say, I think, I feel, maybe, I believe, my opinion is. He said, no. Vaishnava never speculates like this. He said immediately, Vaishnava will quote from Shastra. Vaishnava is Shastra Chakshushaha, always seeing through the eyes of Shastra. The exceptions may be there. And yes, we acknowledge that there are exceptions. But Vaishnavas are not exception Chakshushaha. We may understand that there are exceptions, but Vaishnavas should be Shastra Chakshusha, to see through the eyes of Shastra. Even when Mahaprabhu was conversing with Rai Ramananda, he told him, I will ask you many questions, but I don't want to hear any opinion of your mind. Only what you speak from Shastra, I will accept it as bona fide evidence. And so we know that Shastra is evidence, but the supreme, topmost, spotless, pure, transcendental evidence, where there is nothing to be thrown away, and which is completely free from any kind of inebriety, completely transcendental and pure, like a mango with no skin, no seed, just sweetness through and through. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Ved Vyasa Ki Jai. So I'd like Sudevi to come forward and speak a little something about the mood of Vyasa Puja and also something about Guru Purnima, because this is not only the day of honoring Vyasadeva himself, but also honoring Sri Gurudev.
Dandavat Pranam, all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis. It's really, really difficult for me to speak in front of a camera, so...
That's why I'm here.
Today, all over the world, especially all over India, whether anyone is a Mayavadi or a Buddhist, whether they're a Vaishnava, whether they're a child in school, today is a day where everyone honors their teachers. It is a day to give some kind of gratitude for what we have received. And for us, because what we have received is something transcendental. What we are being given is nothing that actually can be repaid for by just saying thanks. Thank you so much. Put an apple on your teacher's desk and move on. Today is a very grave day, actually. It's a day of remembering the appearance of Sri Guru in our lives. It's a day of a renewal of our relationship with our Gurudev, a renewal of our vows that we have made to our Gurudev, a time of reflection. Oh Gurudev, you appeared in my life how many years ago, and how far, taking my pulse like an Ayurvedic doctor, how far have I come along the path of bhakti, trying to follow your instructions? How far have I come since that time? How is my enthusiasm, my nishta, my determination, my patience, my faith? Have I increased? Have I decreased? So it's a great time to sit down and to really contemplate how Sri Guru enters our life and what he has come to give. Gurudev has descended from that transcendental realm to this world to tell us, hey, come with me. You are, as Srila Sridhar Maharaj would say, you are born of nectar. You are made to taste nectar. You shouldn't be satisfied by anything else but nectar. So however cowed down you may be at the moment, awake, arise. It means, Jeev, Jago, wake up. The mercy of Krishna has descended in our life. And what is he trying to give us? He's trying to give us Krishna. So it's an extraordinary day, actually. Today begins Chaturmasya. And that is 4 and sometimes 5 months, if Purushottam is there. It's for 3 to 4 months of when we are actually performing some kind of austerity. And the fact that it starts on Guru Purnima should be significant for us. Like a reminder, I have made so many vows to you, Gurudev, to chant my mantras, to chant my Harinam, to take good association, to take those things which are favorable for my bhakti and reject those things that are not favorable. I have made so many vows, but somehow, sometimes, or maybe quite often, I become weak and I forget them. So today, I am reaffirming my vows. Today, I'm making a vrat, a sankalpa. For these months of Chaturmasya, I'm going to perform some kind of austerity. In Shastra, it tells all of these beautiful reasons why we should follow Chaturmasya. In one place it says, if you don't cut your hair or nails or brush your teeth for the 4 months, then you get the result of bathing in the Ganga every day. If you don't take salt, one drop of salt in any of the cooking, then you'll sing like a Gandharva. It has all of these different auspicious gifts and boons that you will be reciprocated with. But for us, why will we do it? Why are we doing it? Do we want to sing like a Gandharva? No. Why? We want to sing like gopis. We don't want to just have a sweet voice. We don't want to just attract people of this world. We want to attract Krishna. We want to attract mercy. So sadhana is that process that we undertake to intensify our greed for mercy. I want your mercy, Gurudev. You have come to give me something so extraordinary. So we begin following Chaturmasya by doing some austerity, some tapa. We hear how Lord Brahma, how when he began and he had to begin his creation of the world, at first he was in complete darkness, just like us. Except he was born from the lotus, the navel of Vishnu, and we are born of this world materially. But he was born in darkness. We are also born in darkness. And it is Gurudev who has come and opened our eyes, or who is trying to open our eyes. Gurudev's like there trying to pry open our eyes. We're trying hard to keep them closed. And Guru is that person who is trying to pry them open. Wake up! Wake up! So Chaturmasya is a very important vrat that our Gurudev personally wanted us to follow. I remember that every year devotees would give so many excuses. Oh, but Gurudev, isn't it just for sannyasis and traveling people that they stay in one place and they perform austerity? And I remember Gurudev making it very clear, if you want to do, you can do as you like. You can make some concession, but you will also be making some concessions in your bhakti. So why are we performing Chaturmasya? This month we begin by giving up leafy greens. We give up leafy greens, which is a month where they're all growing very nicely. We give up tomatoes, eggplant, honey, Loki, all kinds of things that are, especially in India, very available right now. But we give them up. And again, in Shastra, our Gurudev told us that our acharyas and Vedvyas, they knew what kind of germs would enter into what at what times of the year and what would make us sick, and they gave us all kinds of prescriptions. But that's for the body. We're following Chaturmasya because we want bhakti. Once, when our Gurudev first told us that we should follow Chaturmasya by not taking tomatoes and eggplant for these 4 to 5 months, I was horrified. I was shocked. And you can imagine, we have some Italian friends who once said, we can't give up tomatoes. It's our blood. It's our blood. How can we give up tomatoes? But it really got me thinking how very attached I am to just one thing, the sense of taste. I can't give up one fruit or vegetable for the pleasure of my Gurudev because he told us to. I remember we entered into the Mathura Math, and it was in 1998 at that time. And we saw that the devotees who were in charge of the kitchen were actually cooking with tomatoes. And we had followed already Chaturmasya for 3 months without tomatoes. And we're like, we come to Vrindavan, and here we are, and they're giving us tomatoes? What is this? And we didn't know what to do. We didn't want to dishonor Mahaprasadam, but then again, we wanted to follow this vrat. So devotees were really questioning, and many devotees said, well, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj didn't give this prescription, so many of the cooks, they just follow that. And a couple of days later, our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he also came out and he spoke on Chaturmasya. And he said we needed to follow all of these. And he included tomatoes and eggplant. And he said, if you want to follow me and my mood, you will not take these things. That is the point. We want Sri Gurudev. We want to follow his moods. Our acharyas are all following Chaturmasya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, the Lord who is showing how Guru should behave. We see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Guru. We can become more and more Rasik and internal as we are becoming more elevated and hearing more from Rasik Vaishnavas. But really, Mahaprabhu is showing us how we should behave, how we should follow, how we should weep for Krishna. Once someone came in front of our Gurudev and they had a goatee. And Gurudev looked at that person and said, why do you have this? What is this? And he said, well, Gurudev, I like it. And Gurudev looked at him and said, you should try to like what I like. You should like what I like. Why? Because what I like will bring you out of your false ego. It will bring you out of your false identification with your body, your mind, your false identity. And it will remove all of that and take you out of this material entanglement. If we can follow what Sri Guru wants us to follow, then this is the real following of Chaturmasya. It's not about trying to be a beautiful singer or trying to get all kinds of material benefits or even bathing in the Ganga every day. If we bathe in the Ganga every day but we displease our Gurudev, will Krishna be pleased? No. So it's not even about that. Hey Gurudev, you have descended into my life, and today is Guru Purnima, the beginning of remembrance, at very least, of that dedication we had at the beginning of our initiation. How much enthusiasm, how much hope, how much happiness, how much determination did we have when we first received Harinam from the hands of our Gurudev? How much inspiration did we have to sit down and chant our mantras and enter into the moods that are in the heart of our Gurudev? This is why we are following Chaturmasya. Because Gurudev, you are working so hard to clear out my heart. And I've been working so hard to put all kinds of material things inside of it. And there you are, sweeping away all of the thorns and all of the stones and all of the dirt that I've been accumulating since time immemorial. I can give up a couple of things for your pleasure. Even though it is going to hurt my false ego. It means my tongue will not be able to relish something. Really think about that. Think about giving up tomatoes for 4 months. And really question, does that disturb us? Why? If we are offering for the pleasure of the Lord, and first we offer through Gurudev, so we are offering for the pleasure of our Gurudev, and he takes that offering and offers it to his beloved, then what are we doing it for actually if it's not for them? Oh, it's for my enjoyment. It's for my false ego. It's for me to enjoy this world. I know that many devotees, they say, oh, but really just stop and contemplate for a moment. And if giving up tomatoes isn't hard, maybe it's chocolate. Maybe it's anything else. Something that will put a little dent in our ego that stops us from just consuming everything. That during these months of Chaturmasya, I want to live in that sacred space with my Gurudev, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also living. He stayed in the home of Kishori,
Vaikuntha,
the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. There he stayed for 4 months. And as he stayed for 4 months, they were coming in the Sri Sampradaya. Mahaprabhu, during those 4 months, gave them the mood of Brajabhav. And they all turned towards Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. And then, ultimately, we know that Radhika Raman manifested from the heart of Srila Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And this is the goal of our Vrat, that Sri Radha and Krishna, Radhika Raman, will manifest in our heart. First comes Guru Purnima, then comes Baladev Purnima, then comes Janmastami, and then after that, Radhastami. And then at the very end, it all culminates in what? Kartik Vrat. This is Urja Vrat. This is the month of Srimati Radhika. We end our Vrat at the end of Kartik, and it all culminates in the worship of our Srimati Radhika. So this is a very, very beautiful undertaking, and we should look at it with joy, with happiness. And every time we see that our false ego can't just take something and enjoy, we should see our Gurudev's mercy in our life. I used to tell devotees when I first started following Chaturmasya, at that time, whenever I would see a tomato, because I love tomatoes, Kishori used to ask me, "Can you please make something for lunch today without tomatoes in it?" And I'd be like, okay. And then I would make something without tomato, but I would make a tomato chutney on the side. Like, I had to have tomatoes. So, anyway, the thing that I'm trying to say is that we are doing everything to try to bring pleasure to the heart of our Gurudev. When Guru is pleased, then automatically Krishna is pleased. And this Vrat is so important to our Guru Varg that all have followed it. Even Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, in the picture here that we show every night, he said, "Take my picture with a full beard. I want to be seen showing this Chaturmasya Vrat." And if you heard or listened to the description of how he followed this Vrat, you would be astonished. He followed it by taking like a handful of prasad a day on the floor with his hands behind his back and almost like an animal eating from the floor. He followed to such an extent that even his Gurudev, Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye, the embodiment of Vairagya, of renunciation, he was astonished by the renunciation of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in whose lineage our Gaudiya Varg is following. He followed it so strictly. We don't have to do so much. Gurudev didn't tell us not to sleep in our soft beds. He didn't tell us that we couldn't do so many things. But he did say, if you want to follow me in my mood, you will follow. In our Param Gurudev, in the Damodar Ashtakam book, in the beginning there's a beautiful introduction. And Param Gurudev, towards the end of his introduction, I don't remember exactly what he says, so you can check it later. But something to the effect of those persons who don't follow the 4 months of Chaturmasya and only follow the last month. He said something to the effect of like they are cheaters or something like that. But he considered that we should follow all. We should give ourselves some austerity without doing our sadhan with a mood of trying to attain, but actually doing our sadhan with a mood of calling out for that descending of mercy. We're not trying to ascend. We're not trying to grab that mercy and force it into our lives. Guru descends and then he gives us, this is what I want of you. Can you do it? Can you try for me? Will you try? And then he said, to try is bhakti. So there's not a lot of time and we have to still hear about Srila Sanatan Goswamipada. But I wanted to read something really heavy to everyone. I wrote it down word for word from Gurudev.
Today, she just opened an old notebook and this piece of paper fell out. And she read it to me and it's just amazing.
So Gurudev asked one devotee, can you stand up and repeat what I just spoke? And the devotee said no. And then Gurudev said, you cannot say anything? Then what is the point of my coming to England to meet us here? And not here, you know what?
You can't see because of...
Because of that light, it made like a round circle on everything.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
I think you'll have to... wait, let me try. I'll try. Here we go, one more time. You cannot say anything? Then what is the use, the point of coming to England to meet us here and not hearing anything? So these things make me worried. We should try to absorb all of these things. Otherwise, what is the use? I am so unfortunate that I cannot give. I cannot teach you anything. Don't make me worried, or I will not give classes, and I will have to return to Vrindavan. What is the use if anyone is not getting something? You will have to repay me. Sanatan Goswami has written in his Hari Bhakti Vilas, if there is no dakshin given at the time of initiation, then it is not initiation. This is initiation, shiksha. What is the meaning of shiksha? It is initiation. I am giving initiation. That is why Shiksha Guru is to be the same as Diksha Guru. More than that, I left Vrindavan, Mathura, my sadhan, bhajan, everything, only to give you something, what I have realized here in my heart. But I am unhappy. I have not been paid. How can you pay? By learning and accepting what I want to give you.
Mm.
So Guru doesn't come for money or for the lowly things of this world. The only lowly things he comes for are us.
Mm.
And actually within us is the most cherished thing that belongs to Guru and Krishna. And he has come to collect that. How? By having us perform a little austerity, by having us chant the nectar of the holy names of Krishna, by hearing the sweet vibration of the transcendental Harikatha of Sri Guru. We take it as a punishment, but it's mercy. So the last thing I want to read you, because it's hopeful, a devotee said to Gurudev, I am afraid that I am unacceptable. Gurudev said, why? The devotee said, because I am not, and Gurudev interrupted. But I accepted you the first time I glanced at you. I am so nearer to those that feel that they are wretched and worthless. I like to help them, like Nityananda Prabhu, especially those who have been neglected. I want to be nearer to them. In Mathura, I don't go to very rich people. I usually go to those places where people are very poor. The people there think, I have nothing, I am helpless. When anyone is in danger, I immediately go and adjust the situation. I don't know why, but my heart is like so. So we are all in a very dangerous situation, whether we call it coronavirus, or whether we call it life, birth, old age, disease, death. We are all in a precariously dangerous position, and Guru has run and come to us in so many different forms, in so many different ways, and the mercy of Krishna is being poured on us month after month now. We get to live in the mercy of Krishna with a constant remembrance of Krishna and Guru in our lives. How merciful. Sometimes we hear how merciful Ekadashi is because she comes twice a month. She's more merciful than Janmashtami. But look at Chaturmasya. We get to remember the mercy of our Guru and our vows to Gurudev every day. Every time we go into the kitchen. Every time we take prasad, we say something. Again and again, this is my vrat for these months. What is that? I only want to please you, Gurudev. Please give me Guru Nishta. Give me strength to follow you on this sweet path of bhakti. Please, Koromore Atma Sata, take me and make me your own. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripasinghya bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
So there's not so much more time left.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's great. Thank you. I was just remembering when Sudevi was speaking about Gurudev speaking about this Vyasa Puja. What is really the meaning of Vyasa Puja? He said just putting a garland around the neck of your Gurudev or giving some donation or a little fruit or offering some incense or anything like that, this is not really Vyasa Puja. This is not really worshipping Guru. What is real Vyasa Puja? The deep significance of Vyasa Puja. It really means to offer your everything at the lotus feet of your Guru. To submit everything, all of my attachment, all of my mind and my body and my words and my Atma. I'm offering at your lotus feet. I'm taking shelter of you and I'm accepting that you will make me qualified to serve Radha and Krishna. On my own, I don't know what to do, but I'm supplicating myself. I am submitting myself to you. Now I am your disciple. Please instruct me. He said, Srila Guru Maharaj said, what is a disciple? Disciple is that one who voluntarily places himself in a position where severe discipline will be inflicted upon them by their Guru. We need that discipline. So our Gurudev himself can speak this because he himself did this. When he approached his Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, he fell at his feet and he said, all of the love, all of the attachment I had to my family, my wife, my children, my village, my parents, my brothers and sisters, my position and everything, I have now collected in one place and I'm offering it your lotus feet. And he said, Param Gurudev began to weep tears of reciprocation. And he said to him, until now, no one has said this to me. And our Gurudev acknowledged that because of this, because of the reaction of his Gurudev, so much mercy came to him, by which, he said, my preaching is able to be successful all over the world. And so in this same way, we see that Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, when they met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Jagat Guru, when they met him, they also had this same kind of mood. It is said that they came with bunches of grass in their mouth, straw, and wearing chadars.
Can you explain really quick why that?
So we see this many times mentioned in, Dante Trinadhori, that carrying grass in my teeth. It means that I feel myself lower, foolish animal, that I have no qualification whatsoever. Have you seen a buffalo that is sitting there chewing their cud? Or a cow, they're sitting there chewing. Like this. They have, they're just living their life on instinct. So I have no good qualification. I have no strength, I have no good knowledge, I don't know anything. I'm like a foolish animal. And I'm coming before you, begging for your mercy, begging for help, begging for shelter. So it's a mood of extreme supplication, feeling oneself so lowly. So Sri Sanatan Goswamipada, Rupa Goswamipada, they were born in a very high-class Brahmin family. And they were very attracted to Krishna and Krishna bhajan from their youth. Sanatan Goswami was the eldest brother of many. Then came Rupa Goswami, and the youngest of those brothers was Anupam, also known as Vallabha, who is the father of Jiva Goswami. So from their childhood, they would play around in the gardens. I was reading this today. And always think about Krishna and Vrindavan. They were naturally attracted to Krishna. Of course, Rupa Goswami in Krishna Lila is Rup Manjari. Sanatan Goswami in Krishna Lila is Lavanga Manjari. Maidservants of Srimati Radhika. So they had natural attraction to Krishna. But due to force of circumstance, over time, the Muslim ruler, Nawab Hussain Shah of Bengal, seeing their amazing brilliance, brought them into government service. So, Sanatan Goswami's birth name, it is said, was Santosh, and Rupa Goswami's birth name was Amar. But coming into Muslim service and being in the association of that governor or the ruler, the emperor of Bengal, they acquired special titles. Sanatan Goswami became known as Sakar Malik, and Rupa Goswami became known as Dabir Kash. According to the principles of that time, if any Brahmin were to even be in the shadow of a Muslim, or any water came from a Muslim, what to speak of working for a Muslim, they would lose their caste. And so both this Sakar Malik and Dabir Kash felt themselves extremely lowly, that we have been placed into this situation. Due to the mercy of Krishna, hearing that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present and being well versed in all Shastra, Rup and Sanatan had extreme desire to meet with him. Because of their extreme desire to meet with him, but because of being stuck in government service, how brilliant were they? This Nawab Hussain Shah, he heard about them, how brilliant and how honest and how open-minded they were. And he engaged them in his own service. To what extent? Sanatan Goswami became his prime minister, and Rupa Goswami was the treasurer. So not just the prime minister, but private secretary. So that most trusted person of the governor or the king of Nawab Hussain Shah. He was the Shah, the Nawab of this Bengal. So this is how trusted they were. The treasurer and the prime minister, private secretary of the Nawab. So Rupa Goswami was able to escape. Why? How? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was coming all the way from Puri to Ramakeli. And by that time, thousands and thousands of devotees were following him. So Rupa Goswami was able to go. Sanatan Goswami also wanted to go, but the Nawab told him, no, I need you here. They were so attracted to meet with Mahaprabhu that Mahaprabhu could not help himself. In fact, Mahaprabhu told them, I came here not for everyone, but for you both. For Rup and Sanatan. They were so eager to meet with Mahaprabhu that he came to meet with them. And we've also heard this in the Katha of how that very young gopi, whose mind was absorbed in Krishna from her very childhood, was so eager and greedy to meet with Krishna that morning when he set out to the forest with all of his friends, he wanted to see her first and foremost because of her intense greed, her eagerness to see him.
And forced.
And forced. And forced.
He said forced at first. He forced the door open.
It's true. So, Mahaprabhu came and he met with Rupa and Sanatan there. But then they wanted to leave and they wanted to go have full-time association of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This Nawab Hussain Shah didn't want to let him go. And he heard that Sanatan Goswami, at that time, Sakar Malik, was spending a lot of time in the name of being Sikh. He wasn't doing his government services, but what was he doing? He was associating with Vaishnavas and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Nawab Hussain Shah imprisoned him. But knowing of his eagerness and greediness to leave that service, Nawab Hussain Shah told him there are severe consequences for this, and so he bound him in shackles by his wrists and his feet. So Sanatan Goswami was in prison, and Rupa Goswami had written a very cryptic note to him that I have 10,000 gold coins. somehow you should bribe the jail guard and get out of there and come to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So from that, Sanatana Goswami understood, Srila Prabhupada said that some money should be kept aside for emergencies. And this was an emergency, so Rupa Goswami arranged for Sanatana Goswami to escape from prison. And they went to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Dashashtameda Ghat, Rupa Goswami spent 10 days with Mahaprabhu hearing so many transcendental subject matters. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is known as Rup Shiksha. And in Kashi, Sanatana Goswami had an opportunity to meet with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he spent a lot of time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu explained so many different subjects to him. And this is known as Sanatan Shiksha. What was the first question he asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who am I? Of course he knew, but for the benefit of the entire world and also feeling himself so lowly and untouchable, he was begging for Mahaprabhu's mercy. Who am I? Please tell me. Why am I suffering these threefold miseries? Adhyatmic, adibautic, adidaivik miseries. What is my function? What is my purpose? What is my goal? Please tell me these things. These were existential questions that all of us have at one point or another. If these questions haven't begun to manifest in our heart, then it is a sign that we haven't really begun the search. It's not sincerely. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now is the time to inquire about the absolute truth. And this kind of desire and this kind of greed will manifest in the heart due to the association of Vaishnavas, who are speaking truth. Then that truth will begin to resonate in our hearts. And more questions will come. A desire, a greed to hear will come. And when we hear, we'll be able to remember. Not like what our Gurudev was asking that devotee, can you speak what I asked you to speak? And he said, I can't speak anything. And Gurudev would say, nothing? Nothing? You can't say anything. And this would be a source of pain for his heart, that I've been trying for so long to give you something, but you're not taking anything. So Sanatana Goswami was asking so many beautiful questions to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what did he say? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu answered Sanatana Goswami, who are you? Jiver Surubahoy, Krishner Nityadas, Krishner Tatashtha Shakti Bhedaved Prakash. The nature of the jiva. So he didn't even talk about his body at that point. The nature of all jivas. Jiver Swarupahoy. Krishner Nityadas. They are all servants of Krishna. Krishner Tatastha Shakti. Sorry, they're all eternal servants of Krishna. Krishner Tatastha Shakti. They are the marginal potency of Krishna. It's not that they come from the marginal potency. The jivas are Krishna ka Tatastha Shakti. Krishna's marginal potency. And Bheda Bheda Prakash. Bhed means different, and abhed means not different. Prakash means manifestation. They are simultaneously different and not different manifestations of the Lord. How are they not different? They're not different in terms of their essential nature, Satchidananda. But they are different in terms of the amount. The jivas are known as Vibhina Angsa, the minutest, infinitesimal parts and parcels of the absolute truth. Vibhina Angsa. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that Mamai Bhangsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. That all jivas are my parts and parcels, eternal parts and parcels. But they're also not separate from him. And he, Bhagavan, Krishna, is known as Vibhum, the supreme, ever-expanding, unlimited, transcendental personality, of whom all others are completely dependent. So Vibhina Angsa, that is the nature of all jivas. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him so many beautiful instructions. He told him about adhyatmic, adibautic, adidaivik miseries. Why am I suffering? Because I am forgetful of Krishna. Krishna bhuli se jeev anabir baharmukh ate mamaya tare deya samsaradu. Forgetting Krishna, the jiva, being entrapped by Maya. Forgetting, bhuli also means being neglectful of. Krishna bhuli se jiva. This jiva being forgetful or neglectful of Krishna. Since time without beginning, time immemorial, Ateva, therefore, Maya tare, being consumed by Maya, illusion, Deya samsara dukh, is experiencing suffering in the rotation of this samsara, birth, disease, old age, and death, in so many different species of life. What kind? Adhyatmic miseries. Suffering is due to these things, due to illusion. Bhayam dutya viniveshatasyat isharapeyasya viparyayosmati tanmayayato abhajittam bhaktyayakayesham Gurudeva tatma. Why do we have fear and suffering in this world? Due to misidentification with the body. That also means the subtle body, the mind, the intelligence, and the ego. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur in this connection says that the greatest mistake that has been, the greatest misunderstanding that has come to this date is that people misunderstand the subtle body made of mind, intelligence, and false ego to be the soul. And he said, and we are sorry for that. We are sorry for that. That people think my soul is my mind, intelligence, and ego. It's a very different thing. So, the subtle body is experiencing also adhyatmic miseries caused by the mind and other living entities within the body. Bhautik means other living entities. From outside and also inside. Diseases of all kinds. And Adidaivik is miseries caused by the demigods, natural catastrophes, etc. And also due to our own karmas. We're experiencing all of these things because of forgetfulness or neglectfulness of Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave so many very deep and essential instructions to Sanatan Goswami. And because it's the foundational questions related to bhakti, Sanatan Goswami is known as our Sambandha Acharya. The Acharya who teaches us how to begin the entrance to bhakti. And Sambandha means establishing the foundation of our relationship to Krishna. Sambandha means relationship.
I think it's amazing that you're saying this, that he's Sambandha Acharya, and it's also Guru Purnima who gives us that Sambandha. And so, yeah, it's just really beautiful connection.
Sanatan Goswami, by his causeless mercy, due to his love and affection for the Lord, the Supreme Lord, I can't even call him the Supreme Lord, he witnessed something amazing. Some young boys were playing, and one young boy came to him and wanted his attention, and said, Baba, Baba, I want to go home with you. Sanatan Goswami was like, what? Why is this boy saying this? There's different stories that are told. But Sanatan Goswami noticed that two boys were playing. One was Madan and the other one was, I think his name was Gopal. So two boys were playing. And Sanatan Goswami was very charmed by this boy. And for someone who is completely free from any attachment to anything of this world, it's quite interesting when they become charmed. Like Madhavendra Puripad became so charmed by this Gopal. So seeing these two boys playing, he was very interested. What's going on here? So I'm going to tell the one I've heard from Srila Gurudev many times, that there was one Chobe Brahmani in Mathura, and she wasn't very first-class kind of Brahmani. She would cook and stir with the same stick that she would brush her teeth with. So one side was like a toothbrush, and the other side she would use it for stirring the khichdi or whatever. And she was serving these two boys as her sons. One was her son, and the other one was actually a form of the Lord, like a little boy. And Sanatana Goswami understood, because he would see that this one would go and take his position on the altar, and then when it was time for prasad or to play, time for food or to play, he wouldn't play with this other boy. And he realized something is amazing with this lady. First he had told her, you shouldn't do this. You should not be in an unclean state. So what did she start doing? She started showering first, doing all the Brahminical standards. But then what did Sanatana Goswami witness? Both the boys were crying and pulling on her clothes. Maya, we're hungry, we want food now. And then Sanatana realized, oh, she's already beyond the state of normal rules and regulations. She's already in the stage of spontaneous, loving devotion, ragatmika bhakti for the Lord. And then he told her, as you are doing, it is okay. But that one boy became so attracted to him, this Madan, that I want to come with you, Baba, I want to come with you, I want to come with you. So in different ways it is told. One way it is told that Sanatan Goswami said, I have nothing to give you. I only have a little bit of flour every day. I don't even have salt. And I just take that flour, mix it with water, and put it in on the hot coals, and it turns to like a round kind of roti. It's kind of a dough ball. Yeah, they still give it for prasad over at Madan Mohan temple, just down the road. And it really doesn't have much flavor. So Sanatan Goswami was like, I have nothing to offer you. You'll just be a burden. You'll be a distraction for my bhajan. I can't take care of you. He said, no, I want to come with you. No problem, no problem. And he said, trust me, you're going to want salt, then you're going to want sabjis, then you're going to want all sorts of fancy things. I can't deal with this. And the boy's like, no, I want to come with you. So he came with Sanatan Goswami and took the very beautiful form of Madan Gopal.
Madan Mohan.
Madan Mohan. Who's Madan Gopal? Same.
He changed to Madan Mohan.
He took this very beautiful form. And so Sanatan Goswami was just giving him very simple food every day. But one day, something happened. A big ship, the ships used to travel on Jamuna before they dammed Jamuna up many times. Jamuna was very full of water, but still sometimes in the hot season, Jamuna would become very low. So ships used to travel up and down and bring their goods. One day, one ship got stuck in a sandbar. And the person who was on the ship needed some help. So he went to the local villagers here in Vrindavan. Can you help me? Is there any way to help? And they were like, it looks like it's beyond us. Perhaps you can ask the sadhu, the big sadhu, to pray for you. Who was that sadhu? Sri Sanatan Goswami. So he went to Sanatan Goswami and begged, please pray for me. So different ways it is told. Sanatan said, you can approach Madan Mohan. As he wishes, everything will be taken care of. Because the sadhu, his mood is...
You forgot that Madan Mohan came in his dream and was asking for something. He was asking for salt, and Sanatan says, if you arrange it.
Okay. So Sudevi is reminding me that Madan Mohan came in the dream of Sanatan Goswami, was asking for salt, and Sanatan told him, if you arrange it. So, this man, he had come to Sanatan Goswami helping, and he said, you approach Madan Mohan, and he will help you. If he wants. It's up to him. So he approached Madan Mohan, was praying and crying, and from that, a great thunderstorm took place. What he promised was, if you free my boat, I promise I will give all the proceeds from the sale of the salt on my ship for the construction of any temple or for Sanatan Goswamipada, for Madan Mohan. But also he gave salt. So from this, Madan Mohan arranged for his own salt.
The boat was full with salt.
It was a salt ship. And at that time, salt was extremely valuable. Salt wars had been fought around that time. It was considered even more valuable than gold for some time. So Madan Mohan arranged for salt. That whole ship was full of salt. And that now Madan Mohan had salt. But who is Madan Mohan? Madan Mohan is the Adhishtatri Devata of Sambandha, establishing one's relationship with Krishna. Kandarpakoti kamaniya vishesha shobham. Millions of cupids faint just at the thought, at the sight of Madan Mohan. Madan Mohan means who is attracting and bewildering the mind of a cupid. But in Brahma Samhita it says millions faint just upon the thought of him. And he is the Murti or the deity of Sri Sanatan Goswami, who is establishing relationship. In other words, by the mercy of Sanatan Goswami, one will develop the eyes to see Krishna. And with those eyes of being able to see Krishna, they will be able to fall in love with Krishna. That's the beginning of Sambandha, relationship. That moment where your heart is completely, you can say, destroyed. Bandhu Sange Jarita Varanga Parihas. From that point first. And then from Madan Mohan, then comes Govindaji. That relationship in practice. And from Govindaji comes Gopinath. That relationship in perfection. So our Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas have explained that another name for Madan Mohan is Kamadev. Kamadev means that Dev who completely subdues Kam, who is the master of Cupid himself, Kamadev. In this connection they've said it like this. So who takes over the lust of this material world and dovetails it into love for Krishna. That is Madan Mohan. And by Sanatan Goswami's mercy, we can develop this kind of love and affection for Krishna. So Sanatan Goswamipada, in his conversations with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has established so many transcendental truths. And then Mahaprabhu ordered him, you should give all of these transcendental truths to the world. You should go to Vrindavan and you should manifest all of the things which are favorable for bhakti, all of the things which are unfavorable for bhakti also, so that people will have a system of checks and balances. If we only accept the favorable but don't know what is unfavorable, then easily we can fall for anything. So he wanted Sanatan Goswami to reveal what is not favorable for bhakti and what is favorable for bhakti. All of the different aspects which are the most favorable for bhakti, including all of the aspects of how to serve and receive Vaishnavas, how to serve the Lord, all of the processes of bhakti. There's so much more to say about Sanatan Goswami, but now it's becoming late, so we will continue with speaking about Sri Sanatan Goswamipada tomorrow. Sri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai. Before I end, I just want to offer that prayer to Sanatan Goswami by Sri Raghunath Das Goswami that we have been chanting every day. Raghunath Das Goswami, he's saying, I offer my pranam, my heart, to Sri Sanatan Goswamipada, who out of his causeless mercy gave me the nectar laced with renunciation, even though I was unwilling to take it. So this is our nature also. We don't want to take it. We're afraid to accept that nectar laced with renunciation. Actually, it's not really renunciation. It's just a fear of the unknown. What is Vairagya? Special, deep attraction to Krishna, by which everything else becomes insignificant. What is it? Bandhu Sange Jaritava Ranga Parihas, Tabi Mora Katharako, Jayanako, Samsari Grihira Jego Hoi Sarvanash. What is my greatest fear? That, in this case, I will become so attracted to Krishna that I will lose attachment or attraction for anything else in this world. So it's a fear of the unknown. But Sanatan Goswamipada is the leader. He's even considered the Shiksha Guru of Rupa Goswami, who is our everything. And so Sanatan Goswami, by his mercy, he will give the nectar of attraction to Krishna, by which all other attraction and attachment will be rendered insignificant. Even though we might be unwilling to accept it, still out of his causeless mercy, he will give that. So we can pray in the words of Raghunath Das Goswami, Vairagya Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatnaya Apayana Mam Anubhipshamandam Kripambudirya Paradukuduki Sanatanastam Prabhum Ashrayami. Sri Sanatan Goswamipada ki jai, Sri Gurudev ki jai, Sri Guru Purnima ki jai, Sri Vyasa Puja ki jai, Sri Chaturmasya Vrat ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय, नेपाल गुरुवर्ग की जय, श्री सनातन गोस्वामीपाद की जय, तदीयतिरुभा महामहोत्सव की जय, श्री गुरु पूर्णिमा की जय, श्री व्यास पूजा की जय, श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय, श्री नंदन गौरहरि की जय, राधा बिहारी जी की जय, राधा जी की जय, गिरिराज महाराज की जय, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, श्री चतुर्मास व्रत की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि राधे राधे राधे, जय 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 श्री राधे राधे राधे, जय 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 श्री राधे, राधे राधे राधे, जय 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 श्री राधे, श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, श्याम गौर प्रेमानंदे,
Hari Hari Bol.
So thank you very much for being with us today, for giving us the opportunity for remembering and speaking about all of these beautiful subjects as we have heard them from our Gurudev and learned them from our Guru Varga, and for engaging us in this service that our Gurudev requested us to do. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam,
Dandavat
Hare
Pranam,
Krishna,
Radhe Radhe,
Radha Bihari Ju ki
Jai,
Danda Gopal ki
Jai.